Hello, my little munchkins and my little old crones. How are you? Well, I should say baby crones. How are you this midday week? Well, there have been things going on a lot, but nothing to lose sleep over, I should say. You know, like I said, you know, the Kardashians are still in, Kanye is still in the news, Wendy Williams is still in the news. But there are some strange people that started getting in the news. So I would like to start this midday. I'm going to call this midday. There's nothing major. So I'm just going to call this midweek hot lemonade. That's what I said. I'm going to call it midweek hot lemonade because I don't really see anything. There is a couple of stories that I do think is going to bust, but we're going to talk about that later. So I'm going to say that towards the last. But in the meantime, in between time, let me get on to what's going on. Well, the first story I want to get to that this went viral. Candy's song, legs, hips, body, legs, hips. What is it? Legs, hips. Body. Well, that trend and that went, what do they call it when it?
Viral.
That went viral. So that's good. And the funniest thing, I think this was one of her plays. And the song trending, it was 8 years ago. So they were showing it with Candy when she had on this leather. And of course it was legs, hips, body. I mean, it's really nice. But just take a chuckle at this because I thought that was funny. So anyway, with that, that's going on with that. So another thing that I found in the news that I found that was a little curious, and that was Caitlyn Jenner saying about how Kanye supported him and how he didn't have any really problem with Kanye, but like a slitted tongue snake. On one hand, you give him all this credit, but then on the other hand, you're saying, I think it's better for Kim not to be with Kanye. You know, it is so funny to me in life. We go through divorces like nothing. Nothing. You have these grand elaborate weddings with these vows that you take because you want traditional. But then when it gets down to, you know, marrying someone because they bipolar, you knew he was bipolar before you married him. But then this is the kicker. Kim says, he gives me all the big things. He's good to me. Like, he's good to me. He gives me all the big things. It's the little things. Like, I want him to work out with me. I want him to go to the store with me. I want him just to do the everyday things with me. This is what she's saying. I want a buddy. I want my man to be my buddy. I want him to go out with me like a girl. I want him to be like a girlfriend. Like we go out, like that guy she used to see that was on her show. I forgot his name. It was her best friend at one point. I forgot his name. It was the same guy that Courtney, I believe, slapped. I can't think of his name, but it was a very good friend of hers. That's what she wanted in her husband. And of course, Pete is giving her that now. But what she's going to do when Pete blows up? Because Pete is going to get famous dealing with her. Just like you got super famous dealing with Kanye. So you're playing it forward. We'll see how long this lasts. I still say that the age gap, 12, 13 years, I think it's 13 years, I think it's too big of a gap. If it was 8 years, 5 years, I think anything 10 years, it's just too much of a gap. Because you done had a 10-year, you done had a decade on this person. So if you go to talk to this person about certain areas, they weren't even born. So you got to look at that. And another thing for Kim is getting ready to perimenopausal if she haven't started. That starts in your 40s. So she's having symptoms. So what about that? And yeah, she's probably going to want to have another baby and all that. Yeah, probably, because she's trying to keep up with her sister, you know. I mean, have a baby when you're 40 and you're 50 and 60, just whatever. Just know there's high risk involved, you know? And when it comes to, well, for me, my opinion, Courtney can do it because she already have white kids. No offense, I'm just calling it the way it is. However, I think, in my own personal opinion, I think it's going to be too much for the 4 black kids that Kim had, mixed kids, well, they black to me, the 4 black kids that she has, and then you're going to bring a white baby in the mix. Be careful with that because, you know, I grew up in that, and that's not good. It's not good being the odd man out. Sometimes just take your 4 babies and run. You don't need the extra drama. I said this before, and I said it again. However, I can be wrong, but I doubt it. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. And why? Because, Kim, you really don't have enough time to be there with your kids 24/7. You're gone. You're in the camera half of the time. Your nannies are there. So you're really not really putting in motherhood. Not really. You don't have the time. So to me, you have a baby like for tokens. That's my opinion. But enough of that. But anyway, like I said, I was a little bothered when Caitlyn Jenner said that she's happy for Kim and Pete and all of that, and Yee's mental ailment. And I just feel like you don't do that to someone that suffers from mental ailment. But that's okay, because I'm going to say it again. You got 4 kids by that man. One of them going to have it. Trust and believe it. The one you least expect. Because the kids are made of your DNA and his DNA. So if there's something broken in him, it may be something broken in all your kids. Just remember, you heard it from me, the Crone. I'm telling you. So you be best to keep him close with his kids. And keep him in a good, open relationship with his kids, Kim. Why? Because you might need him in the future. Because if anybody knows how to deal with a mental ailment, it's those that suffer with it. And I'm telling you, one of those, because I'm not speaking damnation. I'm just saying a mental ailment run every 2 to 3. It's already that mental ailment running your family. What do you mean? One of them, I think it was Kylie or what you call it, was having panic attacks. So it runs in your family. And then you had babies. If you don't want these things, you all better be careful who you have babies by. But anyway, that's my little vent on them, so let me get off of that. I just didn't like the interview, and I don't like Caitlyn Jenner because I don't like the things she does. To me, she comes off as a bitch, and I'm saying it. I don't like her. She seems like she'll know-it-all. She seems like she's just so pompous and arrogant. I don't like her. She seems like she could just say whatever she wants. And she always seems so serious. I personally don't particularly care for her. And she's an ugly woman. And I said it. I don't like her as a person. I didn't even like the way that she treated Chris when she was married to Chris. I didn't like the sneaking and the lying. I don't like the way that at the end, how she just tried to blame Chris for everything. Look, I don't know what goes on in people's marriage, but I do know a thing or two when a man starts blaming a woman about things. When a man starts blaming women about things, or when a man do an interview and another man ain't even there to protect himself, and you're going to go and say some stuff about, you know, I think it's better. Why don't you mind your own goddamn business? How about that? How about that, you ugly person? How about that? And it isn't even about Kanye. How do you sit down and say something about someone negative when you say they were good to you? Shit. F out of here. Sorry, that just pissed me off. It just pisses me the hell off. And she always, Caitlyn Jenner, she don't know what to say out her go. Sorry, people. This woman, this thing. She gets on my nerves. And then this is the last thing. Then she sits back and act like she's so classy. And so, like, I know what I'm talking about. you thing. Well, anyway, okay, I'm gonna really try to get off of that. So anyway, woosah. Yes, there it is. Okay. Now I done already told you about Candy, legs, hips, body. So let me go on. Here's another hot topic, I think. Well, a lot of people are mad or upset with Jamie Foxx because they realize that Jamie Foxx only date white women. Oh, Lord have mercy. Who cares? When are we as black women, mixed black women, women of color and our skin, mixed, come in the camera, please. I know you don't feel your best. Just pinch over a little bit, looking like a clown from out of town. Just pinch over. Brown, just all colors. When are we going to just start loving people because of people? If you don't want to be with a black woman, then don't. Do us a favor. Don't talk about us. When there's something black go on, keep your opinion to yourself. If somebody's saying, black people, black women got kinky hair, just don't say nothing. How about that? Whenever they start talking about something, just don't say nothing. Why? Because you choose to be outside your race. Be outside your race. Live out loud. Be open, Jamie. We already know. I already know those kind of black men. We know. We know. We know. It's all good. Do you, boo. Do you. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to do me. So you do you. You find your happiness. Because frankly, my darling, I don't give a damn. I don't really care about any black man dating anybody they want. And I'll just be so happy when we as black women say, flocka you. We don't care. Tell you what, just keep our names out your goddamn mouth. How about that? Just keep our mouth. I'm kind of pissed off with that. Caitlin got me all worked up. And, but I'm just saying, my main thing is, let us leave them alone. Let them date who they want. Sleep where they want, and let's just do what we want. And we don't talk about them, and they don't talk about us. How about that? Okay? Let's just make our peace with that. Let's just say, you know what? From this day forward, I'm not going to care when a black man date all the white women in the world. Do you, boo? That's our slogan. Do you, boo? Do you? And if you see me walking down the street with the whitest male, keep your opinion to yourself. If you see me walking down the street with a man so black he look blue, keep your opinions to yourself. How about that? What do you think, baby Crone?
Yes.
I need to calm down.
Yes.
I need to calm down. You need to read me. Read me for a minute, baby Crone. Just read me.
2.
Talk up, please, so they know I ain't talking to myself.
No, I said just 2.
Chill out. I'm just too much. Do we need to cut any of this?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's just that I just got so worked up when I just saw that interview with Caitlyn Jenner. Okay. Another thing that that really got me is the Chrisleys. Oh my God. They are on trial. Money fraud. I love them though. I love them. You know the guy, he seems so feminine, and they saying that he had a sexual, that wouldn't bother me. And it just seems like if he did, it just doesn't seem like that would break up their marriage. I love them. I hope y'all saw the Chrisleys. They got a little mixed grandbaby, cute as a button. They have a son and a daughter. They have 2 sons. I think one of them don't be in the show anymore. But they have the daughter. I love them. I like them. And I'm really sending prayers up for the Chrisleys because I hope that they're not into anything foul or disgusting or despicable, because that would just be sad for me. Because they've been on TV for so long. And I just love them. They're just a family-oriented show. If you ever get a chance, I mean, you might say it's too white, but I like it all. So I love them. I think they're funny, they're cute, they're witty. Just take a look at them, and if you haven't seen them. And then you'll get to understand when I say that if my husband was with another guy or had an affair or many affairs, that would not bother me. I would not be shocked by that. But I am shocked that they are money fraud because they seem to be so upright and so godly that I don't know. My last topic that I saved for last, that's the Will Smith interview with David Letterman. However, everyone knows that I'm a fan of Will Smith and of Jada Pinkett Smith. And I told you I watched Will Smith and his video. I follow him. And so therefore I already know he was into extreme sports. I already knew his interviews that he had prior to this that I have talked about in my last videos. Please pull them up. And all I'm going to say to you about this one, before Will Smith even slapped, just look at some of my old videos, before Will Smith even did the infamous slap that was heard around the world to Chris Rock, he was already talking about his breaking point. He was already talking about, I just think that day, it was just that moment, that day, it was brewing, and it just happened. And I know a lot of people want Will Smith to feel sorrowful. 100% Will Smith feels sorrowful. But he feels sorrowful in his way. Anyone would feel sorrowful that, I just lost it. At that moment, at that time. I get that. And if we all wasn't so pompous and so righteous, we'd get it too. He didn't kill the man. He just slapped him for disrespecting his wife. Now, I know a lot of people don't agree with that. I get it. But for me, he didn't do manslaughter. He just pimp slapped him. That's it. And the next time, he'll be careful to what he say out of his mouth. It's just point blank, period. However, I know that we are so morally judgmental in this country, and when someone make a mistake, we are ready to throw the book at him. We're like, get rid of him, take away his movies, don't listen to his music. Just what is wrong with you? You sound like a mob, like kill him. What is wrong with you people? What about your mercy? Why are y'all so cruel? Y'all want the man not to do movies. You want the man to get back his Oscar. You don't want his music played. What the hell? This is ridiculous. And I wish that we as a people stop being so cruel. I mean, for real. It's only a slap. He didn't knock out his tooth. Leave Will Smith alone. Let him work through it. I loved his interview with David Letterman. He really got a chance to really talk about it. And the wonderful thing about this was just after the slap. So this is his first really big interview, I think. But I know he's going to be doing an interview with Oprah Winfrey. I would love to see that because Oprah Winfrey is going to take him on a spiritual journey. And I would love to see that because I would love to see the spiritual side of it. I love the way David Letterman handled it. He dealt with it on a physical level. And I can tell that David Letterman understood it all. I could tell. And I think that if all of you either listen to his book, hear his book, listen to him, you too. And I think that he was before the slap happened, he was already in makeup mode. He already was in it. How? I truly believe he knew he was at a breaking point. I've said this before, not in these words. He knew he was in a breaking point. I don't think he knew when, why, or how. It just happened to be that day because he has been talking about it. He had talked about it with, what's that man's name? The comedian, Dave Chappelle. They did a video. You should watch it. And this was April the 1st. This is even before the Oscars when they filmed it on Facebook, on YouTube. So definitely with Will Smith, I definitely see that he was just going through something. And he's fixing his life. And sometimes in order to fix something, you have to tear it down. And sometimes when the things start falling, we don't know how they're going to fall. But it's the picking it up and putting things in its proper place. That's what matters. So for Will Smith working on himself, working on his journey, kudos to you. I wish a whole lot of other brothers out there that have color with black women work on their journey and find out what's the issue. You know, maybe we could do that without saying, you know, a black woman have a bad attitude. Okay. You know, that's just like me saying, if you say a black woman have a bad attitude, black men beat women. You don't want to hear that. That's not true for all black men. So let's stop with the name calling. We don't need it. Let them date who they date. Let them do who they do. And let Will work this out. And stop being so hard on them. Please. I mean, please stop. What else I can talk about? You know, I already talked about T.D. Jake's daughter, Cora. Look back at one of my old videos with that. That really saddens me. Because, you know, I really look up to T.D. Jakes. And I don't look up to him. But there was a time I looked up to him. Now, I just see, just because he married them. And to me, whoever married them, this is my opinion. Don't judge me. I'm just saying, how come you couldn't see that the man that she married was a molester? Well, he had to have been a pedophile, messing with someone younger than him. It's not cool. Not cool, not cool, not cool, not cool, not cool. And his daughter, the baby stealer. Not cool. So, anyway, that's pretty much what I have for Hot Topics. I was going to do a reading on Will Smith, but I think I've been talking long enough. I just want to come in and I wanted to just give you an update to what's going on. And what else did I want to do? I think that's it. I think that was midweek. I don't think it's anything else I need to talk about. I think I babbled long enough. Well, anyway, I will come back and I will do a reading on Will Smith. I'm curious to know what's going on in his personal life. So with that being said, I might do it tomorrow or whatever. But in the meantime, in between time, it was really nice giving you an update and my commentary on what's going on in the world around us, especially with pop culture. So have a good rest of the week, you know. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm glad that you allowed me to vent a little bit. That Caitlyn Jenner got me, had me refluxing for a minute. I apologize for my abruptness. I said I'm really trying to work on it and bring myself down to a woo-saw moment, and that I wouldn't let anybody get me all rubbed up, but I did. So I'm sorry about that. I hope you can mutter through. I'm glad. Keep supporting me. Please subscribe to me. I'm trying to get up. I'm trying, because I really want to talk to you guys. I really do. So please, please subscribe to me at the Crone Treasure Chest at gmail.com. Ciao, my little munchkins and my little crones. Until the next time. Ciao.